Hey, everybody. OGG, overt, go green. How's it going? I'm doing good, and I hope you are too. Got a deck tech for you today. Before we get to the deck, 3 questions. Question 1, do you like budget decks? Question 2, do you want to rank up really fast on, Arena? And question 3, do you like 1-drops? If you answered yes to all those questions, oh man, this deck is for you. Yeah, I call it Red Deck Wins Budget, right? Red Deck wins budget. It's budget on Arena because it barely has any rare wild cards. And it's budget in paper because of things less than like $40. Actually, it might be even less than $30, to be honest with you. And probably there's a bunch of bulk that you have sitting around. Anyway, let's go over the deck. It is your typical red aggro deck. We're going to go over the creatures first. We have 4 Fireblade Charger. Has a home in every red deck until he rotates out for this guy. 4 Rabbit Battery. Rabbit Battery, as I'm sure you're well aware, is a 1/1 haste for 1. It reconfigures, meaning you can equip it to a creature. Great little buff piece, gives some of our guys haste. Great little card. We got 4 Reinforced Ronin. This thing's an artifact creature, so is Rabbit Battery, which will come up here in a second. But Reinforced Ronin is a 2/2 haste for 1 red, or just a red. And it does go back to your hand. And I'll talk about a little cute combo with him in a second. We got 4 Iron Apprentice. This guy doesn't see a whole bunch of play, probably for good reason. But he's a 1-drop. He comes into the +1/+1 counter on him. When he dies, you can put those counters on a different creature. So he works out pretty well, and I'll talk about some combos with him in a second. Also, at 1-drop, even though this is not a creature, technically it really is a creature, Kumano faces Kakazan. Great little saga for red. This is great. Like turn 1 Kumano, you always want to try to play this turn 1 if it's in your opening hand. Turn 1 Kumano lets you play like turn 2 Iron Apprentice, and turn 2 Iron Apprentice will end up with 2 +1/+1 counters on him, which is a nice little benefit. And if he dies, he gets those counters on someone else, like Fireblade Charger. Also at 1-drop, we have 4 Dueling Rapier. Dueling Rapier is just kind of like a flash buff spell. Think of it like a shock. And you might say, well, wouldn't shock be better? Not really. Not in this deck. We're trying to win. We don't really, care about the equip 4 cost. And I'll explain. There's a couple ways that if Dueling Rapier is off of a creature, they blow up the creature it's on. You can always use Voltage Surge as an instant to sack a Dueling Rapier that's off of a creature and do 4 damage, which is just fine. I also have 2 Eater of Virtue. Eater of Virtue could feasibly give a guy haste. Like, the only creature in here that does anything has haste. But this could probably, if you don't want to spend the rare wild cards, you could probably sub this out for almost anything else aggressive. I like it. It's an artifact. And it's a little buff, and it's easy to equip. I got 4 Royal Eruption just to, do damage to the face for that last little bit if I have to. And then I got 4 Sokazan Smelter. So this guy's a grizzly bear, but you can pay 1 at the beginning of combat, sack an artifact like Dueling Rapier or Eater of Virtue or Iron Apprentice, sack it, and make a 3/1 haste artifact creature token. This has actually been very relevant, right? Like this guy's been surprisingly good for me. Patchwork Automaton, 2-drop with a 1/1 ward 2. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Works great with Reinforced Ronin, bouncing him back to your hand, casting him over and over. This guy gets huge really fast. Ward 2 early keeps him alive. Kumano into this guy, he's a 2/2 ward 2 on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you go off casting some artifacts and he's humongous. So this guy's been another just absolute house in the deck. And I play 18 land here. If honestly, if you were going to play in paper, I would drop the 2 Eater of Virtue and put 2 more lands. Playing in paper, you don't have the hand helper like you do in Best of 1 on Arena. But the lands are 2 Den of the Bugbear, 1 Sokazan, and 15 Mountains. And really, I mean, you could play this deck with all... You could get rid of the Sokazan if you don't have one or don't want to buy one. The Den of the Bugbear is actually important. Like, you want 2 of these. So, really, you could probably get away with just Den of the Bugbear. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have any suggestions, is there a creature I missed? Is there a cute little combo I missed with some artifact synergies with this deck? Let me know. Let me know. If you have any suggestions, you can also put them down there for like future deck techs or anything you want to see. Otherwise, as always, this is OGG out.